What's going on, people? Hope everyone's good. I'm feeling good today. It's match day. Manchester United are playing tonight against Real Sociedad in the Europa League, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be back later on the channel with the football uploads, but I'm out on my walk and I just wanted to talk about some lockdown stuff. I've been looking at a few YouTube channels this morning, like kind of news outlets. I don't really watch the news, so I don't really know what's going on a lot of the time, but I just randomly saw one pop up on YouTube earlier, so I clicked on a few of them, and it's just people like business owners and that talking about how it's affected them. And they had a few people on there, like some people that own like pubs and restaurants and stuff, and like they might have lost their jobs and that, and they're complaining they ain't got no income. They're complaining that they're on benefits, universal credits. Look, I applied for the benefits the other day because I haven't been paid for over 6 months, and they refused me. So I would just say, like, be grateful for, like, you're not going to be grateful that you've lost your business, but if you've got the opportunity to sign on, you're at least getting something. I'm not getting nothing, and I've been refused. So people complaining about having benefits, some of us ain't even getting the benefits, so suck it up, man, suck it up. The pubs and clubs being closed are a positive anyway, because people aren't being able to drink alcohol as much, or if they are, they got to go to more effort to go out to the shops and get it, or get it delivered. And then a lot of people drink for the social side of it, but to me that's a poor excuse. Alcohol at the end of the day is poison, so for me the pubs and the clubs being closed is a positive, and that's something that's been needed to happen for a long time. So yes, people are still ordering alcohol and stuff, getting sent to their home and drinking with like their immediate family, but people aren't going to do it as much because they're not in a pub setting, they're not meeting their friends and that, which is a positive in my mind, and it should be in a lot of people's minds. But we're brainwashed in this country that alcohol is a good thing and that we should be proud about it in the pubs and everything. Like, the thing is, if it was a once in a moon occasion where people go out and drink, it would be a different matter. But the fact is, a lot of people that miss the pubs and clubs being open are the people that go there every single week, every single weekend, wasting their hard-earned money on poison. So for me, it's humorous to watch these outlets and people complaining about it, because when you're more aware of what's going on and the news and how they're approaching all this and people's fear of it, when you don't have fear of it, it's a whole different ball game. And I really don't. So and the fact that I don't usually watch the news helps a lot, and I've been telling you lot to not do that for ages. So I hope some of you took that on board, because it's going to change your mindset and mentality. It's going to change it a whole lot. So, and as I said, I've watched that today, and a lot of people will watch that and will already be in fear. And then other people will watch it and it will just add to their fear, or it'll start the ball rolling in terms of, oh, I'm scared about this, I'm scared about that, when it doesn't need to be like that. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to have fear all the time about it, but because you don't know any better and don't do the research, you're consumed in it. So that's why I tell people to stay away from the news, because they target people like that, the people that don't know any better. I would just ask you, why do you believe in someone that doesn't have your best interests at heart and never will? But it's because we've become accustomed to it since most of us have been born, and our parents too. So somewhere down the line, you have to learn to think for yourself and start changing it, because if you don't change a narrative that they sell you, you're stuck in it forever. When you start to break free from that, your world opens up and you have less fear of things. Like, I don't have fear of dying. Obviously I don't want to die in pain, but I don't have fear of dying. But a lot of people do. But you lot ain't seen your family members or nothing anymore because someone in a suit has told you not to. Because a guy that runs this country that can't even string a sentence together told you not to, and you're like, okay sir, yes sir, explain that to me. Look, We got told what to do all our lives while we were at school as a child and growing up. Then you get a job and you get told what to do by your boss. Now you're getting told what to do by the media and the news outlets and the politicians, and you're just going, yes sir, okay. What time, sir? Do you want me to jump off the cliff, sir? What time? People have been saying, oh, when's all this going to stop? When's it all going to come to an end? I tell you when it's going to come to an end, when people start fighting back against it. But it has to be the majority of the people. There's no good a section of people fighting back and the majority don't. Because they can control that too easily. How are they going to police a whole country? How are they going to? They can't. So it's going to go on as long as you let it to go on. And also, what I didn't mention at the beginning, the people that are losing their own business and working full time, they're now in a worse place than people that work part-time or were struggling to get jobs in the first place. And do you know why? Because they come accustomed to a lifestyle they were living in terms of having a big house, a Porsche, a Ferrari, a nice car, do you know what I mean? Being able to do what they want when they want. When you live a more minimalistic lifestyle, or on a part-time lifestyle or minimum wage, you get used to enjoying things on a budget. Now these people, like myself, that work part-time or whatever, in the past, this hasn't hit us as much as the people that have worked full-time and are used to having all this money to play with. Look how much they're crying and struggling right now, because they've become accustomed to, out of their own choices, to have all that money and all these resources all the time. This is what I go on so much about. I'm not saying don't have goals and don't not aspire to do things, but don't get lost in chasing that money and get used to living a luxurious lifestyle, because when things like this happen, you're seeing what's happening to these people now. Unless you're like super rich, you're screwed. More than the people that didn't have a lot of money to begin with, because you're accustomed to that lifestyle of having what you want when you want it. Having a Ferrari, having a mansion, having your own boat. All stuff you don't need. Look how much it's affecting them sort of people right now. So that, when I see all that as well, it just reminds me that I'm on the right path. So, look, it's a struggle for everyone, but you have to choose to see the positives in the negatives, and there is many. But people are so brainwashed and used to the stuff we've been taught over the years that they can't now escape it. I know I can dip in and out of it because I've learnt to do that and what I've learnt. But a lot of people don't learn, and now they're imprisoned. I'm glad I didn't ever have that luxurious life, because I'm not missing out on stuff that I've become used to having. But a lot of them are. A lot of them are now on the verge of suicide and stuff because they can't have the things they've been used to having, like a spoilt kid. But it just made me laugh looking at these things this morning, because there's people that are crying and like it's the end of the world because they've lost certain things. But they're still getting things that people like me and you ain't getting, and they're still crying about it. Because they're spoilt and they're used to having what they want when they want it. But now look at them. Now look at them. And this is the danger and the trap that is money. Because they don't know how to live their life or revolve it around anything other than money. And that is why they feel suicidal. That's why they're struggling. Because the majority of these people don't do things like meditate, don't do things like searching within themselves, don't do things like nothing other than materialism. But now look at them. Their true colours are showing. Everyone's been affected by this, but look how much they've been affected because of choices they made. When you evolve your life around money, look what happens. Look what happens.